And then now we are going to screen share. I know. It looked like space right now. Don't worry about it. It's not really like space, but it looks that way. So don't worry about that. So now today we're gonna first thing we're gonna learn is Gmail. So you guys know how to get into your Gmail accounts, right? That we use our pthsd.net to do that. Did you ever realize that if you go to Google, if we were to go to google.com, okay, do you know this little thing here? Oh, you can't see it. Let's see if I can. The little squares on the top, do you know that trick? There's this trick here that those squares on the top are links to different parts. It's got like all the apps right there. So there's, if you wanted to click there and it would go right to the search box, this would go to Google+, that would go to Google Sites. So if you wanted to make a website, this is Gmail right there, your calendars right there, your Drive, your Docs, your Sheets, and your Slides. So those are the big ones that you have. So it's easier than remembering always to type in mail.gmail.com to get to it. You can just go up to that little thing right up there, the checkerboard, and click there, and it will take you to Gmail. Hopefully. We'll see. Come on. You can also click, for mail especially, you can click on the top. Let me see if I click off of some of the gazillion things I have open in my computer. It makes it easier. Okay, there it goes. So now you'll see, and it's a little hard to see because we've got, let's see if I can make this any better. I'm going to try to go in a little closer for you. Is you've got your Gmail here, you know, and it's hard to see. Let me see if I can make it in my view a little better for you. So I'm going to zoom in some so it's not as small. Okay, does that help you a little? Even though it's sort of, I know, it doesn't help me either. Barely. But we're gonna zoom in a little more. Can you make out a few words now? I'll write the word, I'll tell you the words as we're going. Okay? You see Elaine sent me an email. You can see my emails. It's okay, there's nothing really important you want to see. But basically, what this screen is, and it's a little hard to see, but you've got on this side, the left-hand side here, you have your compose button. So when you want to compose or write a new email, you would click on that. You've got your inbox, which is here, that tells you, you know, this is what's in my inbox. I have what's called my starred. So that's what in the past in Outlook would be called your flagged. You know how you would flag an email if you want to flag it red or blue or green or I don't know. What is that? It's called starred. And so that's like right over here. So if I wanted to make this a star email, like this is an important one that I want to remember, like it's my, you know, really important, I need to find it easily, quickly, I can just click over here and it becomes a starred email and I could search by my starred emails. So you see how all of a sudden now I have 2 starred emails. I just click right on that, and those are the really important ones. I star them, and it automatically takes me to those 2. I can go to my sent emails, so I can see all the emails I've sent by that. Any drafts I may have, I don't have any drafts, would be in there. If I had any notes that I've done, like that I've written anywhere in my little note area, it would show up here. And then here's like more. So those would be, I don't know, you can make things important. If I had chats, this is where my spam box would be. So if I got any spam emails or that emails that they thought were spam, it would go in there. And then it sort of characterizes and all of that. We'll get to that part in a minute, but I will just feature right now. We're going to talk about sort of just our inbox. So you have the compose here. So if we wanted to compose an email, you click on that and then it goes to the side here and you've got your email, your new message. And then already populated for us is all of the email addresses. You saw that? Did you see, have you seen that? So if I type in like T, okay, Tiffany comes up, okay? But it also remembers the last few people I sent emails to. So even if they're not in PTHSD, you can still find them because it'll remember the last few people I sent emails to. It automatically will do that. But it does remember PTHSD people. So if I typed in C, and I'm not sure you can fully see here, but if you look at the bottom part here, you see where it shows like this little thing here. It says pthsd.net. It's hard to sort of see. And we'll play around with it when we get to it. You'll see that that brings up all the PTHSD people that have a T as the start of their name. So it automatically sort of has populated for us any of the people in our district that have that. Anybody else, if you sent an email to them, it'll pull that one up, but it doesn't always do that. And you can make email lists and contacts and stuff like that to put people in. So we have Tiffany. So if I wanted to send an email to Tiffany, I have right there. The CC and the BC, I know sometimes that, you use that. It doesn't always show up right. So can you see right here on the side, and it's a little hard to see, but it says CC or BC. You have to click that to add it, okay? It's not automatically there. So you have to click that little side box if you want to add CC or BC. So I can CC, I'll CC myself. And then if I wanted to BC, I would click on the BC here and I would pull up that little side thing. And then the subject, you can type in a subject, test email. Now, in Google, the subject area is really important because that's how you sort of search too. Because on the top part here is the search bar for my email addresses. So it searches by your title, and it'll also search by text in the email. But it really, the first thing it looks for when it's searching is that, title of your email. So, or the subject line. And it also groups emails by subject, which some of you guys see when you were doing things. I know Joan, we talked about it a little, is it'll group emails by conversation unless you change that. And so because of that, sometimes like you'll see like, why do I have 12 emails? I thought I sent an email and I didn't, but it's in there. It just groups it by that conversation at the top.
Is that always like in Outlook or just if you're searching?
I'm sorry.
Outlook, it breaks it down by days and stuff.
Right.
Right. What you're saying when it groups, is that just when you search for something?
No. The default on Google is to group by conversation. Now we can turn that off, and I'll show you how to turn that off. But the default is it groups it by a conversation, not by a date. It sort of does it by date anyway. But say, 5 of us, there's, how you reply and then you reply back and, you start this whole big long chain of emails. It will group all the emails together in one little thing. Instead of it being like, so it's sort of by date and then by conversation. So when you were to look up here, and I'm trying to see if I have one that I can show you. Oh yeah, I can. So you see here it says, if I go back, let's see, I'm going to close out of this. You see where it says that little number on the side. It's sort of a little hard to see, but it'll say like a number. So like me, Judith, Paula, and then it says 16 emails. There's 16 emails in that conversation chain. Okay? But it looks like it's just one email, right? When you look over here. But if I click here, there's 16 emails, and it'll say like, I'm gonna try to move this up because I can't even see very well. See if I can make this a little better for you. Does that help at all? A little bit? I know, it's still weird. I'm gonna try to bring it closer some more. There, does that help? Is that better? I know. Is that a little better?
There's no way to make it larger on here.
I mean, I'll make it a little larger, but I want to drop that. Let's see. I think you can see it a little better, right? Little bit. I'll see if I can. I'll zoom in some more. There. Does that help some? Okay. I'll zoom in one more time. There. Okay, that's better. So now we sort of have it. But you see here, well, I'll go back for you, is when we talk about the conversations, you see how it says like 16 on the side, but it really looks like it's that one email. But you can see here when you click on it, it's got this email, which was the top email that I sent to all you guys, but then it's got my 13 older emails. And it's all in one area. That's the default way. It annoys a lot of people. It annoys me at sometimes. You can undefault that, and I'll show you how in a minute to do that. But just realize that if you're seeing something like that, it's really 13 emails about the same topic. So, and I know that some people had a little problem because what they did is they deleted out like this, and they hit delete, and they deleted out a whole conversation. And you see it says the conversation has been moved to trash, which is different than the one email has been moved to trash. Because if I do this, you'll see when I hit like that, it says it's really just like one email that usually has been moved to trash. And you can, right up there, it leaves you the ability, it says undo. I could undo that action quickly. If I get it, if I realize, ooh, I didn't want those 16 emails, I could click right on the top. I could click undo, and it undoes it right away for me. Or I can, just leave it at that. So now that you can see a little better, you've got, there's the inbox again, the start, the sent, the drafts, the notes, the more. And I had started that email to Tiffany, so it comes up in my draft right now. So I can go in. It's just like you would write a normal email, okay? Hi, how are you? Okay, you have the bottom part here. You can switch the text. We have numerous text options we can choose from. We can we can make it bold. We could, make it size is larger, smaller. Okay. We could do bold, italics, text color, align, numbered list, bullet list. All of those things that you normally see that you can do in any text thing you can do. You have the ability here to attach files. What's nice is when you attach files, it pulls up for you, and if I wanted to, I could attach a file from, I'm just going to attach a JPEG that I found, but it attaches my file right here. But I can also attach insert files using Drive. You see that little thing there? So any file that you might have in your Google Drive, it makes it very easy because it pulls up my Drive for me. And I can go right in and find my files. So if I was looking for something, I don't know, I'm gonna look for my AR book because I know that's there. I can just search on the top right there, and it searches and finds the file for me, and I could click here and insert it right into my email. And then I can also do insert photo. Okay, and by insert photo, it'll automatically default to what I have in my Google account that I've uploaded, or albums or anything like that. And then I can insert a link. So if I wanted to go to a website, I don't know, we'll go to www.pthsd.k12.nj.us. I could insert my link right there. And then I can also put an emoticon too. Who doesn't like a good emoticon? And some of these actually like do things. They're little GIFs. So I'm gonna put the little crab because that's cute. And then I could hit, yeah, and he moves. And then I could hit send. And then I've sent my email. And then if I went into my sent file, it shows me, you see how it shows me that this was the last one I did. Here's my email. If it went right here, it'll click in and it'll take me right to the Google Doc. You see how it automatically, because I put a Google Doc in, went right to that doc. And now Tiffany can read the book I'm writing. I don't think she wants to, but she could. It's got my attachment here. So this was a JPEG image. So when I got this email, I would have the option to download it if I wanted to download this image to my computer. Or I could save it to my Google Drive. So if I wanted to save an image or a file that's given to me, I can automatically save it right to my Google Drive folder. So everything's in one place. Before, you would have to do the, download it, save it to find the folders. This one, if I go to save to drive, it shows me, here it is, and then I can even show, do I want to put it in a specific folder? It pulls up my folders that are in my Drive account. So if I wanted to put this in one specific folder, I could put it right into, say, a folder and move it right in. And I never left Gmail.
After you drag it, or
Nope.
how do you do it?
Look, if you go right here, these are the two options that come up from my email. Download, which would be allow me to download it to my computer somewhere. Or, and I can put it in my folders or in my documents or, any files I may have. Or it allows me, you see that thing there that says save to Google Drive. So if I click on that right there, I already had put it in, but it would allow me the ability to choose to put it in different places in Google Drive. Let me see if I can go back to show you another one. So like this one here, it says save to drive. I can click right here, and when I go to save to drive, do you see how it says move to? And these are folders that I already have set up.
Okay.
And I can move it to any of these folders, or at the bottom here, it says new folder. I can make a new folder and put the stuff in there. So it's nice because since Google Email talks to Google Drive, talks to everything, it seamlessly adds stuff or moves stuff around, and it makes it easy. So now you don't have to worry, because before, if I were to just save this to my computer, if I don't have my computer with me, then I don't have that file or that image or anything. But no matter where I am in the world, if I log on to my Google account and I've saved it to my drive, I can get that file from any computer. I don't have to be specifically at that one computer anymore, which makes it a lot easier for you guys, especially to how you do things, because we don't have to be stuck to one computer or one device. We could be at any device anywhere and we get our information. While as with Outlook, and this is what annoyed me a lot, is I always make I have made an email list for my librarians. So I have all my librarians in my contacts, and I just hit like all librarians and it comes up and I send my email to them, right? And you guys do that. You have contact lists for everybody, you know, your 7th grade teachers, your 6th grade teachers, your whoever you are, you've made your list, usually in Outlook, and you know, just hit that name and it comes up and I don't need to remember, you know, everybody's email. The problem is when I'm not on my computer, I can't access those things. So if I'm at home trying to send an email to all my librarians, it's not easy for me to do because I don't have that contact list there for me. But in Google, no matter what computer I'm at, no matter where I am, if I log into the Google email, I will have that contact list always show up for me. And I can easily send it. And I don't have to be at that one specific computer to do that. And it's the same for any documents or anything I get. So now we've made an email. Now we've sent an email. Now you have the ability on the top, you see that there's these options. So what you see here is you can select. So I could select all if I wanted to, and it would select all my emails. I can select none. I can select read emails, unread emails, start emails, unstarred emails, and it will do that. This is the part up here is refresh. So if I knew a new email was coming in or I was waiting for something to come in and it didn't refresh automatically, I could hit refresh. And then I have the more. And the more for this is to mark all as read, is the default. Now what you also have here is it shows you the top 50 emails. So don't think you are like, oh my God, where'd all my emails go? It only shows me the top 50. Then I have to go to a next page. And it says I have 1 of 50, or I have 59 emails in this account. So I would just go to this little arrow here to go to older ones, and it would show me my older ones. Instead of that constant scroll down the page, keep doing and doing, and I do it in my Outlook because I save way too many emails. I have to go through and delete. You have to get used to hitting the arrows instead of that. And then you have different views you can do. Okay? I could have a view like that. I don't know why you'd want to, but you could. You could have a view like that, or you could have a vertical split, or you could have a horizontal split. Okay, so if there was some conversations, I don't know, let me see. Okay, so if I wanted to look at it like this, where I wanted to be able to sort of look in my email at the same time, I could make it so that part of it was showing the emails on the top here, and then part was showing, the conversation. Some people like that. I don't exactly like that, but you can have that as a thing. Now, here's the settings part. And this is where I'm going to show you how you can customize things a little. Because this is where we can get rid of the conversation view. We can put that. Everybody likes to have that little thing on, your little name come up with your signature. That's where we do all of that, is in this sort of settings view. So we have different displays. We have comfortable on large, it's a larger display. Cozy, which is, and compact, which is the current view. Because I've zoomed in so much, it doesn't let me sort of do that, but you'll see there's just little differences in how your view looks. And then you can configure your inbox if you want. So I could put little tabs if I wanted for primary, okay, social if I wanted, promotions, updates, forums. You could configure that a little. Right now, mine's configured like that. If I wanted to change something, I didn't want social in or promotions in, I could do that. It's just, a little thing. That part doesn't matter much. But here's where you go to settings. So settings is where we can change all of these, make a lot of choices about how we do our thing. So we can make the language display different if we want it. Right now it defaults to English. But if I wanted English UK, I could do that. And then my color has a U instead of a whatever. And my vegetables is not set. It doesn't sound like vegetables anymore. I could do Portuguese, Brazilian if you wanted to. You can put in the maximum number. So I have it that I show up 50 right now. Remember I showed you that I was showing 50 conversations in an area? You could make it 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, or I could do 100. The maximum you can have is 100. So you can do that if you wanted to change that. You can make it so that the default reply behavior, and sometimes this annoys me because I always forget to do this, is I'll hit read. You can switch it because right now it defaults to reply, but if you want reply all to be your default, because you want to reply to everybody, you could change that, because I sometimes forget to do that, but sometimes you don't want that. So you have to make that decision. What do I want my default to be? I can choose the text style if I wanted. If I didn't want Sanskrit to be my text, I could make a different text as my default text, body text. I could make the size a different size for my default. I could make a different text color if I wanted to write magenta. Everything I could. This is the conversation view. So right now, this is the one where I know that this was annoying a lot of people. So Joan being one, but I also annoys me too. So it defaults to conversation view on. If I default to conversation view off, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go to save changes at the bottom. You'll see that now, you see there's none of those like 16 or 5. It has, there's Paul's email again, there's Paul's email again. So you can switch the conversation view to be on or off. Right now it's default. I let you guys choose how you want to use that. So you can go in here. You can send an archive, okay, if you wanted to show that. You can do, you can make different star colors. I didn't really realize that. I may now want more stars. I could have 1 star. I could have 4 stars if I wanted. And I could even choose what I wanted my stars or flags to use like. So if I chose 4 stars, I could choose different ones. Okay, but I could just drag it. I want that one. And I want red as my, so those are the ones that I wanted. Desktop notifications. So I can make it so that if I'm logged in, okay, to my computer, I can have it so that a new mail notification pops up on my desktop when I get a new email from Google. Even if I'm not in the Google email on the website, I could get a notification. So if I wanted to, a new notification will come on, or it can be off. Right now it defaults to off, but I can switch it to on. I could do keyboard shortcuts. I don't use keyboard shortcuts. I never remember them, but you can. And then my picture. I actually like this idea because I think it's a good way for everybody. You know how we all have become a culture where we define ourselves by the icon? Like I know half my friends by their icons, not their real picture. Because that's what you look at. You're looking on their Facebook. Oh my God, I know you by your icon. I know, so you become that person. So when you here, this is how I differentiate what account I'm in, is by the picture I'm in, because I have 2 Gmail accounts. So I have that one and then I have that one. Well, how do I remember which one? I just look at the icon. So when you get an email from people, you'll get a little icon that'll come up. Or when you're on Google Docs, when we get to the sharing part, if you would put in a picture of yourself or even an icon, it doesn't have to be of yourself, but of something else. When you are in that Google Doc, that little picture will pop up instead of like a weird lion or a cow or something like that sometimes pops up. So if you see here, there's sometimes, little pictures will show up. You can put a picture in if you want it. You can, And then when you go down here further, okay, this is where you can put your signature in. So you can put a signature in and put whatever you want, okay? You can insert the signature before quote text, or you can not put a signature in, and you can do that. You can put, this is where the vacation responder is. So I have vacation responder off, but I could put vacation responder in, say the first day is today, the last day is, I don't know, the 15th if I wanted, or I could switch the date, and it will turn it on or turn it off. I could put my subject, my message, and I could choose, do I only want to send a response to people in my contacts or only send a response to people in the PTHSD? Because remember, we're using it as we're part of this group already. So if I wanted like people at work to know I'm away, but I don't want like, you know, somebody else that may email me, I may only want to hit send a response to people in the Parsippany Troy Hills district when they email me. And I may not want to send a response to anybody in my contacts, but you know, everybody that does that. And then I could hit save changes and it would save whatever changes I've made. But it popped up and it said, you did a vacation responder, but you didn't put anything in there. You know, you may want to fix that. And I could save changes. Now, those are the general ones. You can get into more depth. You can do labels, okay? If you wanted to not show your starred ones here on the side, they call these like, instead of say folders, they call them labels, okay? That's how Google does it. So I could not show starred, and then if I say save that, it would hide my starred one, wouldn't show up on the side here. Or I could create a new label. So I could create different labels and I could add them and move them if I wanted to. Most of the time, you're not going to do that. But you can do inbox. You can get really in depth here about what you can change and forward and all of that. I highly suggest you don't do that. Stick with just the general, but you can really customize. If you're an advanced user and you want to go and play and customize it, you can. Most of the time, only thing you'll use is the general. So let's see. I want to see if there's anything else before I let you go play. Oh, okay. So let's create. You see up here in mail, we're in mail right now, but contacts is a big important thing. So if I want to, wow, what happened here? Oh, okay. Wonder why I did that. Let me go back to, oh, probably because of how let me save changes. Let me just go back to my inbox. And here's contacts, because contacts is a big important thing. Why it's showing up with this little thing on the side, I don't know, but just ignore that, okay? But what you're seeing is what automatically shows up these are all the contacts in the district, okay? And if I wanted to search for a contact, I can go right in here and search for a person. So, I don't know, Debbie Herbie. I can find her contact information. And then I've already added her to a list because she's one of my media secretaries. So she's in my list I have. But I can go up right here and I can create a group. So think of groups as your contacts list. And you would make a group. So I can make as many groups as I want, and I can put those people in more than one group, which is a nice feature. So right now, I have Debbie in like 4 of my contact groups. Debbie, you didn't realize that? You are so special that you are in like 4 contact groups. You are in my normal contact group, you are in one that called secondary media specialists, secretaries, which is just you. But you have secretaries in the district, okay? You have a contact group like that. And then if I wanted to, I could create a new one. So I can enter a new group where, let's say, I don't know, today's meeting. And I hit OK. Then she's also been added to the today's meeting group. Now I can make a new group by just going here. It says go to add to my contacts. If I wanted to just add this person right to my contacts, I could do that. Or I could do more. So when I would search for a person, so let me, I don't know, somebody give me, I'm going to do Kathy Jo. Okay. So here's Kathy Jo. If I wanted to add Kathy Jo to a group, I can go here and I could add her. So right now it automatically defaults to my contacts. You won't have, and I think you guys get all staff too. I think those will be the two that pop up from you. If you want to create new groups, and you can create as many new groups as you want, you can do that. I might, create a new one and I could add her to that. So there's the today's meeting one, which I want, and I could click there and I could hit apply. And then if I wanted to, I could send her a note. I could put her email address in here. I could put her work phone number. I could put a note so that this note here with the contact information can be like, I contacted this person. This note now is where I can write notes about a person. Like, I contacted this person on 12/19 about this. I contact, and then on 12/20, I followed up with another email, or I did that, where you can write little notes about yourself, about the contact that you would then have for whenever you accessed it. You would have that information about that person. And then if I wanted to, I could send an email right from there to that contact. Or if I wanted to, in my email now, if I go to compose and I go to today's meeting, you see how I start typing TOD, automatically it comes up with all the people I've added to that group. And I could just go right in here and send the email like that. So it's really easy to make multiple contact groups and have people all over the place. And if you see that person then in your contacts, if I go to the view and I go to contacts, you'll see that that person automatically, you'll see under their name says my contacts, and then it says today's meeting. So you know what groups they automatically belong to. And you could then just click on that one. So if I wanted to, say, remove her from this group, I didn't want her in that group anymore, I could hit remove from this group and she'll no longer be a part of that group anymore. I like it. I feel it's a little bit of a better and cleaner way of doing contacts than Outlook does. Outlook's hard. It's hard to make a group and it never fully goes right, and I'm always going through. Yeah, and it's not very easy. I think this is a much cleaner way of making groups and having them around, and it's a much easier way to do that. And if you see here, under the contact view, because this is the mail view, okay? So that's mail view. And if I go to more here, okay? But if I go to the contact view, it shows right under here, it shows my little contact groups. Right there, it shows all my people. So there's all my group, the people that are my computer teachers that I made a group for, I already have right here. And if I wanted to, I could add more of them. I could rename the group if I wanted. If I didn't want to call computer teachers anymore, I could import, export, I could print, merge, duplicate. I could, do all of these things. But then I could, click in one and I could email the whole group if I wanted, or email just that person. So if I wanted to go to computer teachers here, I could do that. And you'll see on the side here, it sort of does it. And then also, like, if you had a big group, which I don't have, well, no, my contacts is sort of a bigger group. It automatically makes it contacts by, like, alphabetical order, by first name. Yes.
Are all the school groups already in there, you know, like we
No.
have now?
I think the goal we're trying, I think, and I don't want you to quote me fully on this because this isn't the area that I'm working on. It's more Mike and Diane that are working on this. But I think that their goal is to try to get that in there. There are a few groups in though, I think. Yeah, I think there are some groups that may be in, but I'm not sure all of them have been put in. So those are questions that I haven't really looked at because I don't use those groups that much. I usually make my own little groups, but there might be some in. Does anyone want to give me a group to try? So let's see. If I go up here to search, CMS, do I just type in CMS staff? Oh, yep. Maybe is it that one, CMS 212 or? Okay, let me see. CMS staff. It might also be that I don't have access to that one. Okay, you guys might have different access than I do. Because remember, there's certain ones that I have access to. Like, I think I have an all-district one that if I wanted to, I can send something to the whole district. But you guys don't have the access to that. So you might have the access to that, and I don't. Yes? I think the goal is to have everything come in. Okay? I can't, that's more of a Mike and Diane question, but from what I know, the goal is to try to bring everything in. But I can't positively be that. I can't guarantee.
But we'll get a heads up.
You'll get a heads up, unless for some reason everything crashes, and, like the last one, and we're stuck again. But we're gonna stay positive that you'll get a heads up that this is occurring. But we wanted you to have an idea that let's play around with it. And I think actually, I mean, it was a horrible week that happened that we didn't have it. But I think in some ways it was a good way to sort of force us now to start to look at this and realize, hey, maybe we need to do this because it, you know, I always think things happen for a reason. So this was a way to get us to that point. And it's also how I got this training today, because what you were the one who said to me when this was happening, I need more Google training. And I was like, I know you guys do. I was going to wait to the summer, but now, actually, I'll do it now because it forced us to do this too. So what I want us to do now, we're going to take a break because this is a lot of information. I'm going to stop the recording, get on a computer, partner up with somebody. I want you to play around with your Google email. You have to send an email. You have 2 tasks. You have to send an email to me, okay? And you should be able to easily find me. If you can't, I'll help you. And I want you to go through the settings. I want you to make a group, okay, and put at least 2 people in that group. And I want you to, and I'll write this up on the board. I'll make a little note. And I want you to try to add what do we want to add? A signature to our bottom of our emails, okay? So those are our 3 tasks. Send an email to me, send a signature, add a signature, and if you've already added a signature for some reason, then customize your email inbox a little. And what was the second one? Make a group. See, I even forgot. Okay, so I'll make a note and put it up.